For centuries, China's tricky geography has posed problems for the government and people, but it has been successfully taken care of before. However, due to increasing climate change, dissertation, and deforestation, the water shortage is becoming an increasingly bigger concern in the northern part, which means that the already water-stifled region will become even more bleak in the near future. To counter this challenge of freshwater scarcity, the Chinese government initiated the South-North Water Project. Today, we'll comprehensively analyze this project and examine its necessity, goals, environmental and economic challenges, and the doubts surrounding its success. China is arguably the most populated nation in the world, with an estimated population of 1.4 billion people, but around 94% of China's entire population resides in the southern part of the country, and only 6% is present above this imaginary line. The main reason for that is the unequal distribution of resources across the land and the contrasting geographical properties of the areas. The northern part also has a consistently enlarging Gobi Desert, which is gradually taking over the urban area. Recent reports suggest that China has started to experience the highest amount of sandstorms ever recorded in a decade, which has impacted the lives of more than 400 million people. Apart from that, there is not any direct route of water in this region. The primary sources are the Yellow River and the Yangtze River, both of which originate in the Tibetan Plateau. However, the flow of these rivers diminishes significantly as they travel northward due to increasing evaporation and human consumption. The southern region, on the other hand, has a humid subtropical climate and a complex network of rivers, including the Yangtze, Pearl, and Mekong rivers, as well as numerous smaller tributaries. Heavy rainfall and high levels of humidity contribute to the replenishment of water sources in the south, sustaining agricultural activities and supporting a dense population. An important point to note here is that China also has a scarcity of fresh water. 20% of the world's total population only has 6% of the world's total freshwater resources. According to reports, since the 1950s, 82% of China's glaciers have started melting, and over a fifth of the ice cover has vanished, which has significantly reduced the flow of glacial runoff into the Yangtze River. Moreover, the country's booming economy has led to increased demand for water in manufacturing, energy production, and municipal use, while rapid industrialization heavily pollutes rivers and lakes, further diminishing the availability of clean fresh water. To save China from water bankruptcy, the government launched the South-North Water Transfer Project, which aims at addressing water scarcity issues by diverting water from the water-rich south to the water-scarce north. This project consists of three main routes: the eastern route, the central route, and the western route. The eastern route diverts water from the lower reaches of the Yangtze River to the northern provinces of Jiangsu, Shandong, and Tianjin. The water is moved through the Jinghang Grand Canal, which is the largest fully operational artificial waterway in the world. Then it's channeled through an underground tunnel to avoid the loss of water by running into the Yellow River, which falls in the route. It took 15 years, from 2002 to 2017, to finally transfer water through this 1,100-kilometer long route. According to statistics, the eastern route transfers almost 1 billion cubic meters of water yearly, which directly helps out 10 million people. The second part of the project is the central route, which aims to transfer water from Danjiangkou Reservoir in Hubei Province along the course of the Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal to the capital Beijing and surrounding areas in northern China. This route did not have any pre-constructed channel for water to run through, so everything had to be crafted from scratch, which led to the unfortunate dislocation of 300,000 people near the Danjiangkou Reservoir. Just like the eastern route, a river falls in the roadway of this part, but instead of building an underground tunnel, the Shahi Aqueduct was built, which extends above the Shahi River for 12 kilometers. This 1,200-kilometer long route was officially opened in December 2014. The last and the most challenging part of the project is the western route, which is still under construction. The proposed plan involves building tunnels and waterways that are going to join the Yellow River with the Yangtze River in the Qinghai Tibet Plateau. The planned western route traverses some of the most geographically challenging terrains in China, which include mountainous regions, plateaus, and arid landscapes that are positioned several kilometers above sea level. Due to this, the workers and engineers will have to cut pathways directly through various mountains in order to build the water transfer infrastructure. Moreover, unlike the eastern and central routes which tap into the Yangtze River and its tributaries, the western route relies on water sources from the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, which has relatively less water and is subject to seasonal fluctuations, making it challenging to maintain large-scale water transfer operations. But if this part goes as planned, then it will be enough to sustain the water requirement of almost 100 million people in the northern region, supporting agricultural development and improving ecological conditions along the belt. All in all, the project aims to alleviate water stress, mitigate droughts, and support sustainable development across the country by transferring water from the water-rich south to the water-scarce north. It's no surprise that this Grandois project is filled with difficulties, but the Chinese government has successfully come up with adequate plans to counter these challenges, like to resolve the issues with the rugged and mountainous terrain present at the central route, particularly in the region between the Dangjiangkou Reservoir in Hubei Province and Beijing. Engineers employ advanced tunneling techniques such as tunnel boring machines, or TBMs, to excavate tunnels efficiently through mountainous terrain. Reinforcement methods, including rock bolts, shotcrete, and tunnel lining, help stabilize tunnel walls and prevent collapses. Detailed geological surveys and monitoring systems are also employed to assess ground conditions and mitigate risks associated with difficult terrain. Then there is river crossings, including the Yangtze River, through which water is diverted from the south to the north. For this, engineers designed specialized bridge structures and aqueducts capable of withstanding the hydraulic forces exerted by large rivers. Environmental assessments and mitigation measures are implemented to minimize the project's impact on river ecosystems and aquatic habitats. Furthermore, other advanced construction techniques, including prefabricated components and modular construction, expedite the building process while ensuring structural resilience and safety. Lastly, the South-North Water Transfer Project traverses ecologically sensitive areas, including wetlands, forests, and protected habitats. The construction of canals, dams, and reservoirs associated with the project can lead to habitat loss and fragmentation, threatening the survival of species dependent on riparian and aquatic environments. In order to successfully navigate through this, the think tank uses environmental impact assessments to guide project planning and implementation. This also helps identify potential environmental risks to minimize adverse effects. Plus, they also consider sustainable construction practices, such as habitat restoration, reforestation, and erosion control to help mitigate environmental impacts. This project is also one of the most expensive infrastructure projects in China's history. The construction and maintenance costs are enormous, requiring significant financial investment from the government. Cost overruns and delays are common in large-scale projects of this sort, which adds to the economic burden. However, the real cost and expenditure are allocated to ensuring the efficient operation and maintenance of the infrastructure. Maintenance of aqueducts, canals, dams, bridges, and tunnels is crucial for the long-term viability of the project, as the scale and complexity of the water transfer system requires continuous monitoring, repairs, and upgrades. The economic stress of this project is so high that Chu Baojing, the former Vice Minister of Housing and Urban-Rural Development in China, has said that he believes the South-North Water Project is not a sustainable idea, although that is too soon to claim as the project is going perfectly streamlined so far. There's still a lot of doubt surrounding it, mainly the contamination of water. Pollution is a persistent problem in China's waterways, as industrial and agricultural activities contribute to water contamination, which can result in the transfer of heavily polluted water, leading to several water quality issues in recipient areas. This can have detrimental effects on public and aquatic health. but to ease up the civilians' concern, Yuan Chietian, Deputy Director of the South to North Water Diversion Project Management Department of the Ministry of Water Resources, told China Media Group that the first phase of the eastern route of the South to North Water Diversion Project has optimized the allocation pattern of water resources and has ensured the safety of drinking water for the public. The South-North Water Project is a necessary step that was taken just before the global shortage of water, and although it is a global issue, China was going to be impacted deeper than many other countries, as experts predicted that China's water supply would not be able to meet the demand by 2030 if the current water usage continued. So this is a huge achievement of the government, but along with the advantage, the project has also grabbed a chunk from China's yearly budget and has cost it around $62 billion till now, which is apart from the cost of maintenance. So while the Southwest Water Project has been a massive blessing, it's surely taken a toll on the environmental and economic dynamics of the nation.